There are many ways to be involved in the pro-life movement, from the Senate to the sidewalk. This week, we introduce you to one pro-lifer who, after a radical conversion, wants to share the truth about abortion to every woman she meets. And it's a mission that is life-saving.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
At 23 years old, Lauren Handy is not your typical DC young adult. Instead of wanting to climb the corporate ladder, Lauren Handy is focused on saving lives.
I've had close to 500 saves from around the country.
Those saves are the lives of unborn babies who were almost aborted had Handy not encountered their mothers at abortion clinics. This year alone, Handy has saved at least 28 babies since Ash Wednesday.
These are all handouts that people can download for free.
Okay.
And because I want to make it as easy as is possible.
It's all part of her work with her nonprofit, Mercy Missions. Handy designs flyers for anyone to print off and hand to people going into abortion clinics.
So this is free downloads for people to take when they go on the sidewalks.
She works with a coalition of pro-lifers to advance her work.
Works to advance human dignity by meeting the ignored needs of our community, and through that I'm outside the abortion centers in the DC metro area. So peaceful public prayerful presence, crisis intervention, trying to convince abortion-minded mothers not to have the abortion.
It's a life she could not have predicted. About 4.5 years ago, Handy experienced what she called a St. Paul moment, when after living an out-of-control lifestyle, some pro-life friends brought her to pray outside an abortion clinic.
I knew I could no longer have a normal life knowing that babies were being systematically killed. I just saw this pain, and it really impacted me.
A few days later, Handy dropped out of college, decided to follow Christ, and started working in the pro-life movement full-time. But after 1 year as a missionary, the darkness of abortion overwhelmed her.
I fell into a very deep depression. I was outside an abortion center every day, and by the end of the week, 80 babies were dying. And I didn't understand the suffering. And there were strong female role models in my life, and they had this joy that I didn't understand, and they were all Catholic. And I was like, okay, what's going on? What do they have that I don't?
Handy has since converted to Catholicism and says the church's message of divine mercy and the lives of the saints helps her with her street evangelization.
It's not too late. You are allowed to cancel your appointment, and you are allowed to change your mind. Those three things are the most important things you could say, because it combats the 3 lies Planned Parenthood tells these women.
Since the taping of this interview, Handy captured on Facebook what's been called a Red Rose Rescue, when a group of pro-lifers, including Catholic priests, recently entered abortion centers to speak with women scheduled for abortions. When they refused to leave, they were arrested for civil disobedience.
Okay, there is Bonnie leaving.
Handy herself has also been arrested 5 times with the same charge and for what she calls misunderstandings at abortion clinics.
While I was there sitting in the cell, I counseled 2 post-abortive women. Not only that, another woman came in and she was arrested for prostitution, and she said 2 months prior she had an abortion and her whole life was ruined after that.
Living humbly, serving boldly, Lauren Handy is an example of someone who wants to spread the pro-life message with every woman she meets.
It's really humbling to know God has used me in that way.
If you're interested in praying outside abortion clinics, Lauren Handy recommends getting involved with your local 40 Days for Life chapter. The latest 40 Days campaign just started this week, and you can find out more by visiting 40daysforlife.com.